What does your gut have to do with your health? How does the gut become leaky? Can we heal a leaky gut? Welcome to my second video of 3 in this mini-series on the gut health connection in menopause. The healthy human intestine has the important role of acting as both a barrier and a filter through selectively closing and opening intestinal tight junctions depending on the need. The healthy intestine allows for nutrients to be absorbed and blocks the absorption of toxins and pathogens. In the case of an autoimmune disease, the gut becomes permeable, so potentially problematic substances get absorbed. Various factors have the ability to modulate these tight junctions, and the key to restrain their function is to eliminate certain triggers. Some things that contribute to increased intestinal permeability or a leaky gut include adrenal fatigue, alcohol, capsaicin, dysbiosis and deficiencies, food sensitivities, gluten, infections, NSAIDs, nutrient depletions, psychological stress, SIBO or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, sinus infections, mouth infections, strenuous exercise, stress, surgery, trauma, and toxins. The first 2 protocols I've talked about on adrenal and liver health will help to stabilize your hormones and address chemical sensitivities, minimize or even get rid of a lot of the symptoms you may be experiencing in menopause, such as joint pain, brain fog, mood swings, and fatigue. Now we'll work to repair your damaged intestinal linings and imbalanced gut flora, which can be the source of a lot of symptoms such as bloating, irritable bowel syndrome, anxiety, acid reflux, stomach pain, and intestinal permeability. Intestinal permeability is a factor in every case of autoimmune disease, including thyroid disease. Also known as leaky gut, intestinal permeability is defined by the gaps in the gut lining that can develop and allow for irritating molecules and substances to escape into the bloodstream. Intestinal permeability is something that can be healed. Unfortunately, in conventional medicine, we'll not likely come to an endocrinologist who would recommend addressing a leaky gut as part of your treatment. Current mainstream medicine is very fragmented and treats each organ on its own, disconnected from the rest of the body. The connection between gluten and gut infections and autoimmune disease has been published and well established in gastroenterology medical journals, but most endocrinologists simply don't read these journals. Instead, they get their information and depend on endocrinology journals, which primarily focus on improved diagnostics and surgical methods for the thyroid gland or specific gland they are treating. If you want to treat your intestinal permeability, you most likely have to find a naturopath or a functional medicine practitioner who is more open-minded. There are 4 steps to this gut healing protocol that I'm going to talk about, which will remove some of the triggers I've listed and also help you build a stronger, more resilient gut. Here are the 4 steps. Number 1, removing reactive foods, identifying and eliminating foods that cause inflammation or allergic reactions such as gluten, dairy, and highly processed foods. And this reduces the strain on the gut and helps decrease the symptoms of hypothyroidism. Number 2, supplement with enzymes. Introduce digestive enzymes to aid in the breakdown and absorption of nutrients, which can be compromised in those with thyroid dysfunction. Proper digestion reduces the occurrence of leaky gut and supports overall gut health. Number 3, probiotics to balance the flora. Utilize probiotics to restore and maintain a healthy balance of gut flora, which supports the estrobolome, as I talked about in my last video, and thus helps regulate estrogen metabolism, essential during menopause. Number 4, nourishing the gut. Nourish your gut with bone broth and add in supplements like L-glutamine, zinc, NAC, omega-3, fatty acids, and vitamin D. Also addressing and treating any underlying intestinal issues such as infections or parasites can be exacerbating your gut permeability and negatively impacting your thyroid health. So let's talk a little bit more about reactive foods and food sensitivities with an autoimmune disease. Studies have found that people with Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism often have a deficiency in the digestive enzyme hydrochloric acid, resulting in low levels of stomach acid or an absence of it. Stomach acid can make it more difficult to digest proteins, which can lead to increase in tiredness. And digestion is one of the biggest energy requiring processes in our body. So when extra metabolic effort is needed, it can leave you feeling tired and fatigued. An initial difficulty with digesting proteins can set off a chain reaction of greater digestive troubles. That's because your digestion might begin to have problems digesting the more complex protein molecules, such as those found in gluten, dairy, and soy. When these proteins are poorly digested, we're more likely to become sensitive to them. Many people with autoimmune sensitivities will be sensitive to gluten, dairy, amongst other things. And eventually you could develop IgG antibodies to these proteins, which are the very same antibodies that target the thyroid gland in autoimmune disease. When someone continues to eat these proteins, the immune system attack becomes upregulated as the influx of poorly digested proteins triggers the immune system to make more of these types of antibodies, making a bad situation even worse. Reactive proteins can attach to antibodies, creating what's referred to as a circulating immune complex, or CIC. The body can break down CICs by using self-made proteolytic enzymes, which are specific protein-eating enzymes by the stomach, and the duodenum part of the small intestine. However, the system can become overwhelmed with too many CICs. As these complexes accumulate, they can contribute to liver congestion, autoimmune disease, and many associated symptoms such as pain, inflammation, and even heart attacks. While simply eliminating reactive proteins can help a person to feel much better and reduce the autoimmune attack, leaving low stomach acid unaddressed may leave the door open to additional food sensitivities, including foods such as grains, eggs, nuts, and seeds. Poorly digested proteins can also become food for opportunistic bacteria that live in our gut. The gut is a delicate environment which functions best when there is a balanced ratio of probiotic or beneficial bacteria to the opportunistic or potentially problematic bacteria. Imbalanced bacterial flora, when there are more opportunistic than probiotic bacteria, is seen as the root cause in many autoimmune conditions. And most people with Hashimoto's have been shown to have imbalanced bacterial flora. The bacterial imbalance is also considered a contributor to intestinal permeability. People who feel good will tend to have a higher diversity or high amount of probiotic bacteria and low opportunistic bacteria on follow-up tests. Very symptomatic people tend to have patterns of low diversity and low beneficial bacteria and elevated levels of opportunistic bacteria. Deficiencies in hydrochloric acid can additionally make us more susceptible to acquiring other infections such as H. pylori, Yersinia, and parasites, which can be a potential root cause also of autoimmunity. A lot of problems can stem from a deficiency in this important digestive enzyme. Low stomach acid can result from a number of factors, including nutrient deficiencies, a vegetarian or vegan diet, adrenal issues that deplete our chloride stores, and infections like H. pylori that neutralize stomach acid to aid in their survival. A deficiency of stomach acid can lead to various types of anemias, including B12 and iron deficiencies anemia, because we need stomach acid to extract B12 and iron from our protein-containing foods. This could lead to a vicious cycle that results in hair loss, fatigue, food sensitivities, and so on. Many people have been able to improve their levels of ferritin and B12 through improving the stomach acid and getting rid of gut infections. So what is the best way to heal a leaky gut? In order to heal the gut, we need to remove the most common reactive foods for a period of 30 to 90 days and replenish enzymes to improve digestion and break down the CICs. In some cases, enzymes can also help with removing infections by digesting the infectious organism or breaking down its protein-containing hiding spot. Simultaneously, we need to supply the body with the nutrients it needs to heal. And we must reestablish balance in our gut by encouraging pathogenic bacteria to leave peacefully while replenishing beneficial bacteria. I hope you enjoyed this video. In my next video, I'll dive deeper into the gut balance protocol with more details. So please join me in my next video to learn more on how to implement the protocol so you may reclaim your health. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.